Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for the second of four tapings on the road to the Impact Wrestling Tag Team World Cup. Card is taking shape. I'm quite happy with tonight's show. Without further ado, let's just do it. This is this week's Impact Wrestling on Axis TV. So this week we went straight in with a massive angle. We have Thunder Rosa open the show where she basically states again she's never been pinned or submitted by Ronda Rousey. This was an instance of Ronda escaping the cage. She wants Kurt Angle to come out and give her the opportunity to face Ronda Rousey one more time, because of course we're really trying to get as much out of this series as we can. Kurt Angle comes out and he says, you know what, that's fine, you're right, you have never been pinned or submitted, we'll certainly make that happen. Also say, well, Kurt Angle's out here, he's going to make a quick announcement. He also confirms about the Tag Team World Cup and the four teams we'll see. It'll be the Good Brothers, it'll be FTR, it'll be Enzo and Kaz, and it'll be the Acclaimed. Ronda Rousey then comes out and she says, well, it's all good and well that obviously she's got to face Thunder Rosa again. She's like, she beat her twice. No issues that she'll beat her for a third time. But she doesn't want to steal the spotlight away from the men at the Tag Team World Cup. That should all be about tag teams. So she wants to give Thunder Rosa as much time as possible to prepare. So this matchup will not take place at the Tag Team World Cup. This will actually be our April pay-per-view. We will see Thunder Rosa versus Ronda Rousey at Rebellion. Kurt Angle says, good, that gives you the time to be on your A game, and there'll be a stipulation to ensure that we have a winner via pinfall or submission. So getting out of the way, it gives Thunder Rosa a lot of chance to build up momentum, and a 79 rated segment to open the show. So we just get that announcers confirming on that we will see the Good Brothers, the Acclaimed, FTR and Enzo and Kaz. So they will have a semi-final and then a final at the Tag Team World Cup, and the winners will of course become number one contenders for the Tag Team Championship. So that was a 43. We then had a decent matchup that saw Chris Bay defeat Willie Mack in 7:05 with a Triple C. A 53 overall, good performances, I'd say they're from both, as Willie Mack continues this losing streak. Backstage, he wants to apologise to Rich Swann. He just says he doesn't know what's happening, he just keeps losing. He feels like maybe next week it's time for him to have maybe a matchup that really is a make or break for Willie Mack. So he'll go speak to Kurt Angle, get put in a one-on-one matchup, and if he loses, Willie Mack's going to walk away from Impact Wrestling. So that's a 39. We had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling as Fire and Flavour. Tasha Steelz and Kira Hogan defeat Team C-Stars, Ashley Vox and Del Miezo. In 7:37 when Kira Hogan pinned Ashley Vox. Pretty decent this actually, a 40, some good performances in there, especially from Ashley Vox, as Team C-Stars will have excellent chemistry. But it is the heels that pick up the victory here in this Knockouts tag team match. So what could be in the futures of Fire and Flavour. We then moved on to having a decent matchup as we had Johnny Dango pick up the win over Crazy Steve in 7:39 with a flying leg drop. So a rare win for the lovable weirdo that is Johnny Dango, although you could probably say both of them are a bit weirdo. But 38 here, simple matchup, Crazy Steve with a 32, Johnny Dango with a 39. And this, as I dropped my mouse, was the storytelling match of the night. We then have some words from Johnny Dango and Richard Holiday, and they just basically say it's basically the fault of both Sami Callihan and Phoenix of why EC3 has been posted missing. Callihan obviously still has his issues with Richard Holiday, but it's the fact that EC3 wants that championship that Phoenix holds that's just getting at him. So that's a 47. He really feels he can't control his narrative. With some tag team action, the alliance of Ethan Page and Roderick Strong in action, and a good matchup here. They defeat the Deaners in 10:38 when Ethan Page pinned Cody Deaner with a spinning facebuster. Cody's a weak link here, two great performances from Strong and Page, and 59 overall. Imagine if these two faced each other. Down the line that could be a very, very good matchup. And again, just a promo after, a 72, and they just talk about how they seem to respect each other, they both seem to have the same kind of morals, and they just basically laugh at the likes of Chad Betts and Eddie Edwards, who both guys have had histories with in previous weeks. Moved on, we had a decent matchup that saw Wardlow pick up another win, this time over Brian Pillman Jr. and 641 with the Splash Mountain Powerbomb. 44 from Brian Pillman Jr., pretty good. 52 from Wardlow as he picks up another win, preparing to take on IOP, of course, with his tag team partner. We then moved on to a good match in the X division with Low Key cheating to win a matchup with underhanded tactics in 923 over Suicide. Obviously the plan would be if Suicide go over these kind of guys, but you can't just have Low Key come in and take a defeat after defeat. You have to build them up as well. And yeah, 57, the better performance as well with the 59. As the former TNA guy showing that he can still hang with the best of them, even though he's obviously, I think he's plus 40 now, so fair play to Low Key. Then have some words from FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. In this promo, they're just basically saying, it's a tag team tournament, of course they're going to win. They're better than the Good Brothers, they're better than they claimed. And Enzo and Kaz, just, lol, they've beat them so many times. They can't wait to shut up Enzo one more time. So a 61 promo there. Opted to have one man from each team participate in a fatal 4-way matchup to obviously get us hyped for that tournament. And it was about they had good heat and decent wrestling. They had Carol Anderson go over Dax Harwood, Big Kaz and Anthony Bowens in 12-16 when Carol Anderson pinned Anthony Bowens with the Anderson Spinebuster. This match only delivers a 49 because Dax Harwood did not feel too kindly of not picking up the victory here, despite not being pinned. So to keep him strong, that'll hamper the rating a little bit. I'm actually shocked that Anderson's not as high, only a 50, but the 64 from Dax Harwood, pretty decent there. So good stuff. Maybe making the Good Brothers as potential favourites going into the tournament. And we had the main event that saw a superb matchup as Jeff Hardy took on Joe Doering from Violent by Design. And he wins in 11:29 with a Swanton Bomb. Just to make sure we get the big match rating and we give Jeff something to do. 63 between these two guys, 54 for Doering, 67 from Jeff. And of course this pisses off Ken Shamrock and Eric Young for the 3-on-1 beatdown on Jeff Hardy, who is saved by a man who has had a lot of history with Violet by Design. Matt Riddle saves him, so Jeff Hardy lives to fight another day. So I think you're overwhelmed with this one. But delighted to have Jeff and Matt Riddle have some sort of alliance. And that 55 segment settles us for a 64 rated show, which again increases our popularity in 56 regions. So that's what we're aiming for, small gains before the pay-per-view. Hopefully it's a big gain, and then get that step close to medium. So it's looking good. You see there we've built up the tournament, we've built up obviously Strong and Ethan Page's alliance, we've built up Wardlow a bit more. We continue on the feud with Phoenix, Callahan and EC3's faction. A little bit between Low Key and Suicide. Stuff between Jeff Hardy, Violet by Design, and potential contenders for the Knockouts tag titles. So overall, plus you add in the Thunder Rosa, Ronda Rousey stuff, quite a lot progressed in one show there. So that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you'll join us for the next taping in a few days' time. And until then, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.